Alright, hello everyone. So I'm going to do a show day hair tutorial as requested. This is how I do it. I have a pretty curly hair texture. I'm not wavy at all. It's definitely a curl. I think 3C is where I sit at. Sometimes 3B in certain areas where it's like a deep wave. But this is just what I use, the products that I found work well with my hair. My hair is a little dry, porous, doesn't get oily, and just is that strong curl texture. This is what I do. It's a disclaimer. I'm going to go through what I use to wash, when, all of that fun stuff, and then the products I use in the orders, and how I touch up my style show morning. But anyways, enough with that. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's talk about washing the hair, all that fun stuff. I have two different wash methods. It depends on if I had styled my hair a bit and I need to remove any buildup that's going on. So that was one thing once I started styling my hair, because before, honestly, I didn't really do much. I just let it air dry, and if I had a good hair day, that was great, and the rest of the time, I just YOLO'd. So now that I'm using product, it's not after the first application, but it's like if I style it again and I get more product on it, it gets nasty. And I didn't realize that was a thing because I didn't really style my hair ever. And I didn't want to have to deep condition and double regular shampoo, so I found a product to actually use it. So I use this Curlsmith cleanser. I've tried a few of their other products. I like them, but they're not my ideal choice for show day hair. They look good, but I can't get as consistent with them as I can with the products I use. So I use this cleanser if I've styled my hair a few times and I need to reset it to do a fresh styling. Sometimes when I style my hair, I'll get 2 to 3 days out of it. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll just do a regular wash and there's still product, but I can just refresh it without having to use a bunch of that cleanser because it is pricey. So that's what I do. Anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week I'll use it. It just depends how often I'm styling my hair or my needs. Now, the shampoo and conditioner I use, it's been a lot of trial and error for years. I don't use anything fancy, and I know my hairstylist posing clients hate these, but it works for me. Everyone's hair is different, so this is what I go with. I use the Aussie Miracle Moist. These are my favorite. Honestly, for a while, I had really good results. I would just shampoo and let my hair air dry, and it would turn out really well. After a while, it needed more than that, which is why this styling method comes in handy, because I could not consistently just shampoo and have my hair always turn out right. My hair is also a lot of times sensitive to if I'm in a hard water environment or different things that change there, how it air dries, all of that. So this is really easy for me. So I will do a full wash. Today what I did is I did the cleanser. So I removed any buildup that was on my hair, shampoo, condition, and then out the shower. That for me seems to work best. Obviously, if I don't have a lot of product, I probably could have gotten away without doing the buildup remover, but I just like to do it to be safe. Fresh washed hair, just took it out of the towel. I left it in for a bit long, but where I'm doing a treatment first on my ends, I think this is the correct. So my instructions I gotta get. So, right now I'm using the K18. I use this right before a show because it helps with broken ends and helping your hair seem healthy. I might do a tiny trim. My ends look pretty good. So for this, towel dry thoroughly. This one likes it drier, so good start. I do 1 pump at a time, and I mainly work it into my ends. I think that's what you're supposed to do, and you like gradually work it up, and it helps with breakage and all of those fun things. And where now I occasionally use heat to style my front pieces, it's helpful to have that. You're only supposed to use it for 4 to 6 washes, and then max use 3 pumps. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing, and then you say I ruined your hair. I'm not a hairstylist. I am just a little lady with curly hair that has taken many years to figure out what to do. So I like to gradually work it up and in, especially those front pieces where they do get more heat. And just gradually bring that into there. At the tops, these front bits, and a little bit extra at the bottom. I like to try to get all out of my hands if possible because it's expensive and I'm going to use all of it. I'm going to have a lot of leftover here. But that is optional step number 1. So step 2 or actual step 1, we're going to start with curl cream. This is the curl cream I have started using. I asked another curly lady for her advice, and she said this. I tried it out. It's done me pretty well. I have 1 or 2 other curl creams I've recently tried that I don't really like. I didn't know curl creams were a thing. I didn't really understand it. This is, in the past few months, I've learned about it. What I'm doing now is I have my spray bottle, just water, and I am getting my hair back to being pretty damp. Yes, it was damp before, but we need a lot of moisture in this step. I don't really know why, but I do know the results don't turn out as well if I don't have a lot of wetness to it. So obviously on show day, you have to do this before your tan, which this is why, because there's a lot of water and you don't want to ruin your tan. So we're going to take our curl cream. I use a medium amount. You want to work it throughout. This one isn't super heavy, I noticed, so I really like it. Get it all along the hands and work it through. I know a lot of people do the praying hands thing. I like to gradually just swipe it through and then focus on my ends because they get really frizzy at times. And mousse on the ends looks crunchy. This starts the curl process and keeping them formed, I've noticed. So just want to get that in. There's a little prayer hands. A bit more. I don't have an exact measurement amount. I do what feels right where it's not too heavy in my hair. A little bit in the medium top. Some on the under section since it does show when it dries. And just trying to get the last of it out of here. A little bit in the scalp and just underneath. So that is step 2. Or step 1 if you're not doing a treatment. Step 3, mousse. I, like most people when we were younger, did not understand mousse or how to adequately use it. Mousse does not go before your curl cream. Mousse goes after because curl cream helps it not feel nasty. So I use the matching mousse. I've already shaken it up. Mine doesn't like to foam up, so I use a lot less. I've tried it all directions. Ooh. It actually almost wants to foam. I lied. So I don't use a lot, and that part where it's super concentrated, I just really try to be a bit conscientious with it. So here, I like to gently rake it through. Just trying to cover a lot of pieces, but not with a lot of product. And my struggle is where I have most of it on my hands. I'm trying to just rake little bit by little bit through. And I don't want to get it on my clothes or on me, because that is a textural nightmare. Just going to rake it through on the other side. And now do a little prayer hand, squish it in there. Get all of that fun and flirty. So this is where I start to get the curl structure working again and do a little bit of the scrunching. I don't want this concentrated. Some people like to have a curl cast. I don't. That's just not my preference. And then I take this last little bit that comes out, put it right here at the roots for a little extra volume, even though it's not needed, but that is step 3 or 2, whichever you're doing. I'm just going to call it step 3 because for me today, it is step 3. 4th, I don't understand this, but I learned some of this from TikTok as well, and it works. So if it ain't broke, I'm not fixing it. But let's turn this off because you need to be able to hear. This Eco Gel. I have the olive oil. They have different types. This smells a little grassy. I could have done the argan oil, but the lady on TikTok with good hair had this one, so I got this one. Just saying. So we're going to pop it open, and you're going to be generous. I feel like I use a ton, and there's still so much left in there, and it's not super pricey, so don't be afraid of it. I have nails on, so I don't want to get all under it. My hair's not wet enough, I can already tell you. But what we're looking for, you want it thoroughly coated on your hands. And then you want to come from underneath. You don't hear that. That's, nope, I'm going to get it so you can hear it. You need to hear this like wet, oh, that was my eye. This wet squish noise. So here. That noise, that's what you want to hear. So if you need to get your hair more damp again, like I said, it's an adventure. I don't do this every day. That's the key component. When you do style your hair like this, I typically notice the style will be really good for 2 days, and the third day sometimes works well. It just depends. If you put your hair up, it's probably not gonna want to hold that curl structure as well. But if you keep your hair down and you lay with it down, or whatever method that works best for you, you can get multiple days out of one styling. So we're still just squishing this product in, helping to moisturize and lock in all that product. So you can see here we are. The curl is there. Normal, wet, curly hair. So feel around. You want it fully saturated. I could probably afford a little more. Don't be afraid of it. Also, you should absolutely test this out before your show day. I tested this out for about 3 weeks prior. What you want to do is make sure you practice your timing as best you can. So, you know, if you do work close to home or work from home, try practicing it in the evening. So, you know, sometime 5, 6, 7 p.m. Taking your shower, washing your hair, and see how it holds up overnight, because when you have your show, you're not going to be able to shower day of. And if you're a lady that likes to diffuse, you could do that, but see how it looks the next day after sleeping on it. So that for us is step 4, and that is the last of our products. So let's get our hair wrapped. Little environment change, but my bathroom does not have a countertop big enough. Sometimes I'll do it on the floor, but I'd rather not record myself, all that good stuff there. So what I have here is a big t-shirt. I did not have any old big t-shirts, and I didn't want to steal one of Jay's, so I got one from Walmart for a few dollars. What you want this t-shirt big enough that it will hold all your hair and wrap around your head comfortably. I was using one of my own t-shirts for a bit, but I just didn't feel like my hair was securely in there, so I'd rather oversize it than undersize it. This is literally a 2XL. So you want to lay out your shirt. This is the plopping method, but this helps me set my curls overnight so that they hold their shape. So I will keep my hair up like this until I wake up show day. If you see my show day vlogs, that's what this is. This is a big t-shirt that is wrapped around my head. So shortly after getting all the product in, we are going to plop into this. So into the middle, you're going to throw your hair down. We're going to try to layer it in a way that the curls stack up nicely. You don't just want weird flat ends. It takes some time to figure out where you like it placed on your forehead, but don't be afraid. You can always rewrap it. Then we're going to take this end, throw it over. You're going to have little dog ears by your face. Wrap. And tie. So here we are. This is how it first looks. A lot of times you'll see me roll this up. I don't like my forehead being covered, but you're going to have these little flaps at your ears. It looks weird, but it works. Some people, they only plop for a little and then diffuse. Some people, they do that type of curly method and then go straight to diffusing. That's your personal preference. I have not had good experience with diffusing in my hair. I don't know what it is. I've tried different temperatures. It does not work for me if I want my style to sit right. Don't be afraid to try things out. You're going to fail a few times when testing out your curly hair method because, again, even though these products work really well for me, my hair type might not be the same as yours. My hair porosity, the things I do to my hair, I don't have any color treatment history at all, so that affects how your hair works with a lot of these things. So I'm going to leave this up. I'll just do it a few hours today since it's early in the day for me, but on a show day, I do this right before my tan. I go into my tan like this. If I have to go to check-ins like this, I go to check-ins like this. I go to bed, take all of my check-in photos from my coach, and I wake up show morning, and I will leave it up until I'm ready to style my hair. One thing with curly hair, it doesn't do a lot of back and forth very well. I went to my tan in the morning like this. I don't care. They might ask you, like, pick up your little flap so they can get the back of your neck. That's fine. I would rather have my hair set and have to work around it than anything else. So that's my timing. If you're a diffusion lady and then want to do an actual silk bonnet, if that works for you, that's awesome. I would love to do something like that. It looks a bit more normal than this, but it is what it is. This is the hair I was blessed with, so I work with it. We'll come back later and we will, once this dries, a few hours later, and talk about how I styled the front pieces, any oils or anything that I've used, thoughts, etc., all that good stuff. Alright, so honestly, it's only been like 2 hours, but I know this will take literally all day to dry, and I'm a little irritated with this because it's a work day. So we're going to take this down, just show what it looks like if it's still wet. Normally when I wear it overnight, it's, I would say, 85-90% dry. So as you see, it holds the curl a little better. I want to look at it in the mirror myself as well. So at this point, if it's not fully dry or it's close, you can set up your part. So I part my hair on the side because I am a millennial and my face is just not symmetrical enough to middle part. Sometimes I throw my part back and forth a little. Sometimes I accidentally part it too far. So curly hair parts are suggestions, not law. Okay, that was a terrible choice. Boom. So just part your hair. I'm gonna let it kind of air dry. This might not be the best choice because it will it might hold. So if I let it air dry, I try to scrunch a little at the root so that it keeps that curl up top. That's my biggest issue where my hair is long now. It weighs itself down, and if I don't plop it overnight, it does not have curl at the top. It's flat and then curly, and the structure of my hair I don't love. So that's that. So honestly, this dried pretty good. I would almost leave this for show day personally because my front curls curled very well. So this is the dried result. There's some volume, but my curls are still defined. That's the key thing here is you want the volume. It is curly hair. Some of this I could touch up. I'm not going to do it. It is late. I've gone through work in posing, but what I do when I do want to style certain pieces or maybe redefine some ends, separate pieces and get that, I actually have a curling wand that I use. So first thing, heat protectant always. TJ Maxx, best way to get it. I like the Chi one. I've been using the Chi heat protectant since I was in middle school. So, and then I have this Revlon Waver. What's nice about it is it reduces, it's concentric, whatever, words are hard right now. And you just wrap little pieces. You can just do parts. You can do it at your root to help add some volume, curl away from your face. And I think I do it this way. So I do opposite side. So I would curl like this way away from my face, and then I'd rotate it and away from my face that way. So that's the way to get those front pieces styled and super curly. And then if you want to touch up some ends and make them more defined, that helps as well. As for hair oil, I was recommended the Bond Smith one and I didn't really like it. This is my go-to. She's my golden. I actually need to get more. Is the Moroccan Argan Oil. Amazing. Never done me wrong in years. It's lightweight, but it helps keep that frizz down so that you actually can have that curl structure without it looking oily, wet, or gross. But it actually does have some weight to it so that it won't immediately refrizz or get frizzier as a result of it, like some other oils that I've dealt with. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Only other thing I will say for oiling your hair on show day, wear lunch lady gloves. I've mentioned that in past videos, but it's important to say there. You will mess up the tan on your hands eventually if you put oil directly on your hands. So just get a food handling glove, put your oil on there, and then you can massage it through your hair the morning of as you need. Oil I would use like the morning of the show, not the night before. Obviously, you know, take the bonnet down the morning of for me, but that way my hair doesn't get matted and lose that fun bounciness right before the show. I hope that helped you guys out. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. I tried to be as thorough as possible, but if I missed anything, I'm happy to answer it. I'll talk to you guys later.